Padua. I'm here with Charlie and Joe to talk to us. Hi, guys.
Good morning.
Welcome.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
And you guys are here to talk about something special for the month of April. So why don't you start off and tell us what is the month of April?
So April is Autism Awareness Month.
Autism Awareness Month.
Yes.
Okay. And what are some things that we should know about autism?
Well, the biggest thing for me, what everyone should know, is that autism is not anything to define who you are. Autism is more or less something that could naturally make you stronger as a person. So being here at Padua especially, it doesn't make you any less of a person, it'll actually make you more. And God loves everybody, and He wants, even if anybody has like problems, that you can go up to someone and say, hey, I have this deal, and then they'll be like, well, we're here for you, and we love you and care for you. So I feel like talking about this, especially at Padua does a really good job about taking care of people that are a little bit different.
One of the biggest signs of autism is social interaction. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it'll be hard for an autistic person to kind of cope with somebody who is trying to explain something to them. Something might throw them off or whatnot. But it's one of the most common symptoms of autism, and it's just something that people should be aware of in case they want to just kind of do it at their level.
Yeah, and social interaction. I mean, that's a key thing that everyone's going through growing pains in high school for that, right? We're all kind of learning how to interact with each other. And you said, Joe, that Padua was a really especially good place for that. Can you elaborate a little bit on like what has Padua done for students with autism especially, and like what do we do particularly well here that you want to talk about?
Yeah, Padua, I've recognized this over being here for about a year and a half now, that it's a safe place for anybody. And Padua, you can go up to anybody, any student, any teacher, and then they'll help you out in what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And they won't just help you out once. They'll keep coming to you and asking you questions like, "Hey, how you doing? How's everything going?"
Yeah.
So Padua does a really good job at helping people with disabilities or things that they struggle with.
That's great. That's good to know. Charlie, do you encounter that kind of same thing? You're a senior, right?
Yes,
so
I
you've been 4 years, and you've been involved in so many things, and kind of to Joe's point about autism not really defining who you are. Do you agree? Do you have a similar kind of take on it?
Yeah. For me, being diagnosed at 3 years old, autism is more of a benefit rather than a disability, like you mentioned. So, but the way that changes over time is how much you mature, and how much your social interactions will be better with the people around you, and over time sometimes they'll be able to learn how to just reach out to people and just ask them how they're doing, and eventually make more friends as they go along.
So Charlie, tell us what some of the symptoms are of autism. You mentioned before the social interaction. What are some other things that we can be aware of?
So one is not being able to actually talk. Sometimes autistic people are nonverbal, and they're just quiet.
Yeah.
Another thing too is just like I mentioned, social interaction. I still deal with that struggle every day of my life. It's hard for me to understand what people are trying to say to me, and just kind of understanding their perspective.
All I say is just don't let that stop you from doing what you want. Don't let having autism stop you from doing your dream. And
Awesome.
It's just don't even worry about it. Actually, see it as a benefit more than a setback.
You mentioned before you kind of wanted to make some suggestions for our community. So what can we do just in just normal everyday interaction at Padua to help out those with autism?
So this is for anybody, and one of the main things to do is just not demean anybody, not bring anybody down, and just kind of make them feel like, hey, you belong here. Mm-hmm. You have a potential. You have a potential with the people around you, and get to know them better, and just kind of going from there. And then once the time comes, yes, you've got friends.
Awesome. Joe, anything to add to that?
I feel like what Charlie was saying, that you don't judge a book by its cover, you know? Like,
Right.
you don't know what someone's going through. So, and that's what I said. You got to be open and wanting to know about the person you're talking to and helping out. So I think that Pato does a really good job at that, about not judging a book by its cover.
Yeah. Yeah, and kind of what Charlie just said, this is for everybody. It's not just for students with autism. It's like never judging a book by its cover. It's a good philosophy to live by, right? Because we never know what's going on with anybody, so it's best not to assume or.
Right. You have to essentially get to know the person before you start judging them, and then it's common courtesy, it's common sense, and it's just something that everybody needs to learn.
Well, I thank you both for coming and talking to us.
Thank you.
This has been great. Charlie, thank you for bringing this to us. This was your idea to kind of put this segment together. Of course, you're a member of the BVN. We've seen you do our Bruno's Bulletin and our prayers sometimes and back behind the scenes. So you're doing great things, and you've clearly, figured out how to kind of get along with the world and thrive with this. And Joe, you too. You're not too far behind, Charlie. You're a sophomore?
Yeah, I'm a
sophomore year. Okay. So Charlie, can you just tell us real quick, what are your plans after Padua? Where do you want to go?
So my main goal right now is to get my CDL endorsement.
And what's that?
School bus driving.
School bus driving. All right. Very cool.
So essentially just doing more with driving and just kind of looking out.
Yeah. With all you talk about music, though, I kind of figured you were going to be a radio disc jockey. You're just going to bring the 70s back to everybody.
So again.
And like force us all to listen to Elton John nonstop, right?
So again, that's another symptom of autism, is talking about the same thing over and over again, and it's just me talking about music with everybody.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with
I
that.
love music, but
Yeah, exactly. I could talk about Disney over and over again too. I mean, it's not just you. We all have our quirks and our passions, right?
Yeah.
And we know one of them is music. And by the way, no disrespect to Elton John. I would love to listen to Elton John every day.
Yeah, keep him in mind. Yeah, but unfortunately, I gave up one of my most favorite bands for Lent, and it was Aerosmith.
Oh my gosh, you gave up Aerosmith?
I've never given up a musician before, so I figured this would be a good
Roll the
way
flashback
to do
with
it.
Iben last year. Roll the flashback.
You gotta love Aerosmith. In fact, I actually want to give people attention by focusing less on some of that gross Taylor Swift stuff. That rant.
That was one of my favorite moments on the BBN. I love
that. That was awesome.
Very cool. Well, again, thank you guys for being here. This was awesome, and good luck in the rest of the school year. And have a great fourth quarter.
Thank you.
All right.